So what is one thing that you have regretted sharing?
Shared like quite a number of things that at some point I regretted
I
sharing.
shared some very personal story with them about my life, something very sensitive.
Okay.
Because at that time we were just getting to know ourselves, so I went all in with the whole room was just using it to make jest of me, and it was not funny in the relationship. There's some things I can tell my friends, I cannot tell my mom because the way she will react to that information might be detrimental to me.
No. Okay. Are you comfortable sharing your pin?
So
Is she your next of kin?
yeah, she's my next of yes.
And you are comfortable, you are safe, you feel safe. You don't feel like you might be sleeping in the night, she will come and press your neck. Be
I
careful.
won't share my financial information with her.
You won't share.
She would remove all of my money. So I won't.
Okay.
So aside from relationship people, there are some people that don't really post their relationship, but they post like how much they earn on TikTok.
Your status, is it
Now
safe?
disappear after this.
A whole lot of dramas. And there's this one of bullying when you post someone that is dear to you. What about relationship with church? Do you feel like certain things should be told to your ministers, your pastors, your reverend fathers and all that? Hello everyone.
Hi guys.
Welcome to the first ever Stone Circle podcast. Team, let's talk safety. My name is Jennifer and I'll be your host for this show, for the podcast here. And I'll be bringing all of us to bringing a balance to the approach of the topic that we'll be taking today. And I have here with me my beautiful co-host, Faith. Yeah, so Faith is a seasoned community manager and trust her to be giving us her own insights into relationship matters as regards this topic.
Yeah.
Safe high Faith.
Hi guys, welcome to our first podcast where we'll be sharing all the tea about safety and security.
Yeah, thank you very much, Faith. And going forward, I'm going to introduce you to our distinguished guest online, Mr. Emmanuel. Mr. Emmanuel is a vibrant student of Abia State University. He is a spoken word artist, a public speaker, and an entertainer, with creative take on relationship. So you guys should be looking forward to hearing from Emmanuel. He's going to be giving us his 1 cent on our topic today. So going forward, I'm going to talk about our second guest, Mr. Godwill. Godwill is also a student of University of Uyo, and he's an electrical engineering student. He'll be offering us a practical take on our topic today. I've been talking about our topic. Speaking of the topic, let me tell you what the topic for today is. The topic for today is no dey oversabi for love. How much is too much to share to stay safe? So remember that all we are going to be talking about is safety.
Yeah.
So currently our topic is no dey oversabi for love. How much is too much to stay safe?
No dey overdo for love.
Overdo, but now oversabi. Oversabi is like, so we are going to start off by tackling the oversabi factor, how it makes us unsafe, how it endangers our life, and how not to oversabi and be safe. Even when you want to oversabi, be safe inside your oversabi. All right, let's dive into it. Moving right into it. No dey oversabi for love. So let's start off by tackling the oversabi factor. The oversabi factor. So Miss Faith, what do you think the oversabi factor is all about? Like, what can you say about oversabi in relationship? Like, taking our topic too much, not giving too much. How much is too much?
First off, I think I like the topic no dey
Oversabi.
oversabi for love.
Mhm.
Yeah, because it's what is very popular among young persons, among youths, among you, me, everyone. We like to do oversabi in this country. Yeah. So the concept of oversabi is just basically saying, oh, we do too much. Do you
Yeah.
get? And saying no the oversabi for
Love.
love relationships, it just boils down to saying um we should be watchful or careful or play safe or play smart while being in a relationship. That's what I get from the concept.
Oversabi.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Godwill, can we hear from you about what you think about the Oversabi factor?
Okay, so about the overcoming factor, I would definitely feel like in a relationship, if you are loving somebody, there is nothing as overcoming
Mm-hmm.
because love is, I don't, I personally can't define what love is, but then love is something, to me, love is God, love is endless. So if I call somebody my love, or I'm in a relationship with somebody, I don't see anything to do and overcoming because it depends on what exactly you are saying is an overcoming. Because if I'm saying so much of my love, that is not overcoming. So I don't think there's no if I
Yeah.
am if I'm saying so much, then not overcoming. You get it.
Okay. If you're doing too much, or if you're not doing too much, it's no Oversabi. And you feel like there is nothing like Oversabi in relationship.
Yeah, I feel like there's no overcoming in a relationship because this is somebody you have feelings for, this is somebody you love, this
Mm-hmm.
is somebody that you are trying to like build up things get with. So there is no it as I said earlier, it depends on what we term as overcoming. You get it. So
Yeah.
it's all it is based on the couples or the people in the relationship preference. It's based on their point of view. Let me say that. Let me use that word as what they feel or what they see is an overcoming or personal preference or personal point of view as what I see is than compared to what the general public people may see in my own relationship.
Oh, okay. I understand what you mean. So, just so we know, before I go over to Mr. Godswill, relationship, what we are trying to discuss is your overall relation. It doesn't just have to be with your partner, your boyfriend and the girlfriend that we all know about. It has to do with your family, your friends, your roommates, your classmates, even your pastors, your church. So relationship all round. So Mr. Godswill, let's come over to you. What do you have to say about the oversabi factor? How do you feel about this? Mr. Emmanuel said that he thinks that there is nothing like oversabi in relationships. So what do you have to say about this?
Okay, yeah, thank you. I will disagree with Mr. Emmanuel because
Okay.
when we are building relationships with people, especially at the beginning, when we are trying and we tend to actually do a lot of things that to try and impress, right? So we tend to do oversabi,
Okay.
especially at the beginning of trying to build relationships, whether it's romantic relationships or with friends. We tend to do a lot of things, throw caution into the wind. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
to get
yeah,
them
the
to
concept of
like
oversabi
you.
is an actual thing, and people need to bring caution to mind when they are building relationships, especially in the romantic ones, because that's the ones that actually
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's the one
actually
that has.
agree.
Okay.
That's why people, some persons will say, "Oh, you've changed," because
Yes, because
from the beginning you
initially,
were all sweet and rosy. Then
yes,
all of a sudden they are showing your true colors. I
you are
get
becoming
that.
more reserved, you're becoming
Yeah.
more withdrawn, and but initially you are like oversharing any slightest thing you want them to know
Know
about it.
about it.
You did this, you
Yeah.
want them to know that you cooked one special jollof rice today, you
Or the
want to
bus
share.
conductor talks to you in a rude
Exactly.
manner.
You'll be
You are
like,
calling.
babe, so see what the conductor
Hmm.
did to me today.
I can
I
imagine.
understand.
Yeah.
So that is it. I think we've actually trashed out the oversabi factor. While some people are agreeing that there is nothing like oversabi, I don't know what to say to that. And some other are saying that there is actually like there tends to be a lot of oversabi initially when relationship kicks off. All right, thank you very much, everyone. So I'll just go into like trying to define the boundary, like trying to link all this to our topic of today, which is how much is too much to share. So the oversabi factor, we've tackled that by everything we've said. So we'll try to like pick out, try to create a boundary on define the boundary between oversabi and keeping private. for safety. So we'll dive right into it. Faith.
Yeah.
So what is one thing that you have regretted sharing? Like you've shared with a friend or
Mm.
anybody, and you've like, okay, after a while or immediately after sharing this, you see reasons, or the person gives you, maybe not even give you a reason, you see reasons why you shouldn't have done that in the first place.
Yeah. So I think for me, I have shared like quite a number of things that at some point I regretted sharing. Why? Because people don't receive things the way you perceive it. Like I may say, oh, this thing is serious and it's life threatening for me, and someone is making a joke out of it, and they're like, "Guy, you're
Okay.
so dramatic." Do
Okay.
you get? So I don't exactly share things like that. Things that I feel like, oh, in the long run, if you make a joke about it, it's going to hurt me. So I've shared a lot of things,
Okay.
and I regret sharing them.
Can we hear some of them?
No, 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 off
Like maybe
camera.
one that that really affected you, like
Yeah.
had like repercussions from because you shared, you like sat down and you were like, I really regret doing this, saying this to you,
Let's
because that's like another
let's
oversight.
go over to Mr. Godfrey.
All right, let's go back to our guest, Mr. Gossiu. What do you have to say about this? Have you ever shared something and you regretted sharing it? Like you've done this oversabi and you've gone to share thinking that this is your person, you can say this to them and you
Yes,
regret.
yes, many times. But the one that actually got me was the situation with my roommates back then in the hostel. I shared some very personal story with them about my life, something very sensitive.
Okay.
Because at that time we were just getting to know ourselves, so I went all in, trying to. Then, as we started relating now,
Yeah.
eventually shared that information that I told him with everybody else in the room, and they actually started using that to
Ah,
like make jest of me. And in the end, it was not really funny. It became a regular thing in the room. This is something I shared in person. Like it was just supposed to be something
everybody.
between me
Yeah.
and him, and he
Yeah.
brought it to the room, and the whole room was just using it to make jest of me, and it was not funny.
All
Sorry
right.
about that.
I think I can relate to that, but that's
Yeah.
aside. Let's hear from God's will. What do you have to think? Do you think that there should be like a, difference? Is it like keeping things to yourself? What do you think about keeping some things private in a relationship?
Okay, I think it depends. It depends
Mm-hmm.
on person and the type of relationship. First, if it's a long term commitment like marriage,
Mm.
then for me, I feel like if you're getting married to somebody, that person should be someone you can pretty much share everything with,
Everything.
right? Not somebody you
Mhm.
should hide some kind of information from, right? So like your wife, I don't really think that you should hold back any information. There's really nothing private between you and your wife.
Any
Everything
Yeah.
information?
you guys are one.
Do you
So, but for
agree
your
to that?
friends, you have to judge because before you can call somebody your friend, right? Trust is earned. That person
Yeah.
must
Yeah.
have earned trust over time. So you really want to judge for yourself. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
can I tell this person this kind of sensitive information? Can
Mm-hmm.
this person deal with this kind of information that I'm trying to share?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can choose to hold information from certain kinds of people depending on the type of relationship. There's some things I can tell my friends, I cannot tell my mom because the way she will react to that information might be detrimental to me. There are
Okay.
some things I can tell my friends, and there's some things I can tell my friends. I can tell my mom, but I'll not tell my friends. That's
All right. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. So you agree that everything that your partner should know, everything
okay.
about you, like everything,
All the tea, everything. Where you are going to.
including your financials. Including financials. Let's take financials for instance. Are you comfortable sharing your pins to your ATM cards? Do you feel safe
The
to
money in the
share
bank.
that and also to let them know maybe the your account balance? Because I know
Yeah.
that is like a lot of is an issue that keeps arising in
Yes.
families, that you don't know how much your husband has in his accounts
Or
and
maybe when
everything.
she says, "Baby, I need a bone straight," and you're like, "I don't have money." Oh, I saw your account balance. What do you mean by
Exactly.
that?
How do you feel about that? Do you feel like it should be is okay? Do you think it's okay?
Again, it comes back to the person. Someone like me, I'm speaking for myself now. I don't mind, especially if I like with my wife. I don't mind because I'm not going to marry someone that you tell me you want to go and buy something, then you go and spend all my money. I don't mind. I'll actually share all my details and everything with you.
All right.
It's not an issue for me. To some other people, it might be like too much of an information to share with their wives. That's
Okay.
up to
Easier
them.
said than done.
It's easier said than done.
Easier said
Faith
than
said it's
done.
easier said than done, but let's not go into that aspect. Yeah. So okay, moving forward.
Actually, right now, my sister, she knows everything about me, my password, my PIN,
Is she
my
your next
number.
of kin?
So
Is she your next of kin?
yeah, she's my next of kin.
Ah,
Yes,
and you're comfortable, you're safe, you feel safe. You don't feel like you might be
I
sleeping
don't
in the
I
night,
don't
she'll come and press your neck.
no.
And take all your
No.
millions.
That's nice. I love that you really, really trust your sister, and that's what we encourage anyway. Staying safe. You should do these stuffs with people that you actually trust and you feel safe around.
But
Yeah.
it's a bit tricky
Yeah.
because why I said it's a bit tricky because sometimes you may put in this trust in people.
Mm-hmm.
Like imagine, let's use God's
Sister.
sisters for example. Let's
Yeah.
say God's will hits like $1 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
She gets and she knows everything concerning and maybe she gets greedy and say, okay, I want all that
Yeah,
money.
her friend who comes to her ear
I
and be
want all
whispering
that money. G
like,
gets
"Let's throw
hopefully it will be
caution to
gone
the wind,"
tomorrow.
and we will not be hearing from you
Yeah,
anyway.
so it's
Yeah,
a bit
that's
tricky, but I like the fact that we find our persons and we can trust them. But at the same time, I don't
you
know.
should be
I
careful.
won't share my financial information with my
You
big
won't
sister.
share.
She would remove all of my money, so I won't.
Okay, that's like a very different perspective. You can do that with your sister, but Faith can't try it. Her sister is
No,
going to
because
run
she's
her
a
dry.
spender, she would take all my money.
All right, that's fine. All right, so let's go to the aspect of social media, relationships, and being safe in relationship. So the aspect of social media is like, do you feel safe putting out your relationship out there? Like, is social media a safe space to actually portray your relationship with people? Faith?
Okay, so the the talk about social media for me is a lot because it moves from just relationship to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Some persons don't post relationship on social media, but they post other things.
Mm-hmm.
Some persons will even tell you that they are educators and they are
Ah,
teaching you
some
how to.
persons in this generation.
Yes,
Have you been
yes,
on TikTok recently?
yeah. I'm saying that. So aside from relationship people, there are some people that don't really post their relationship, but they post like how much they earn on TikTok, or they post other
Okay.
materials like
Okay, this is
that.
like personal.
Yeah, like other personal stuff that could be endangering.
During, yeah.
Yeah, why would you be telling me that you made how much $1 million in September? Do you get?
Okay.
So it's something that can instigate jealousy, or maybe someone that is trying to front and is a competitor to yourself will just be like, okay, let me just put this person in danger, or you're
Okay.
just endangering yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But for relationships, two things can happen. Either they steal your mind I mean, they steal yours and make it mine.
Okay.
One of the two can happen. Yeah.
Interesting. So, Mr. God, what do you have to say about that? How do you feel putting out your relationship there in social media? Do you feel safe? Do you feel like is right? Do you feel safe doing that
I don't like putting stuff on social media at all.
at all?
Especially these days, a lot has been going on, like cyberbullying. A lot. If you just put an information out there, and before you know, people will just turn out.
Mm.
You might not use it necessarily for any security, but they just use that information to bully you. So for me, that
Mm.
social media is not a place to share my relationship information. Coupled
Yeah.
with the fact that
Yeah.
there are some people that will actually, as you post your babe, they'll make it a commitment to actually find out your babe and take her away from you. That
Ah.
one is not a good thing
So that
anyway.
you remain single with
So
them.
yeah, apart from that, then me, I like to stay.
So
I like to
Mr.
stay
Godfrey,
anonymous online
you
because
want to
online.
wear a similar clothes with your babe this December, Abby.
Like
You want to
matching
focus
Christmas
matching
wear.
Christmas outfit.
Me and
Yeah,
mine.
you and yours.
I could post it on my status, but I cannot come to Twitter and post it because
Your status, is it
that will
safe?
disappear after 24 hours.
On your status is safe. Like
People will
you
take
don't think
screenshots now.
exactly. You don't think that one of your guys will, be on the lookout for that girl next day.
I filter people on my WhatsApp a lot.
Okay.
That's
All
the
My
right.
truth.
WhatsApp
All right.
people
Okay.
are absent. But the
Oh,
Twitter, anybody, the
these
whole world,
senseless ones, you
you
block
Yeah,
cannot
them.
really control.
Interesting, because a lot is happening these days. You go on social media and you
exactly.
see people crying. I posted my babe and this one. My other friend is not. You see them
Yeah,
deleting all the history they had with the person, and a whole lot of dramas. And there's this one of bullying when you post someone that is dear to you, and people like pinpoint something, and they'll be like, "I see this one. She no get yash.
Yeah,
What's so
yeah,
special about this one?" Me self, I get yash. Why her? Do you understand?
yeah.
A
I
lot
think
of
that
that.
happened recently with a celebrity's wife.
What's his name? Charles. Is it Charles?
I don't think it was Charles.
Egungun. That's like
I think
one point.
he posted his babe or something, and we were like, ah, slim girls are winning now because this girl
Exactly,
doesn't even
like
have any bone, doesn't
same
have
girls.
any muscle in
Do you
her.
understand? Yeah, I understand all that. That's fine. You feel better when you filter people, and you just don't want to do that. You don't just want to put your relationship out there
Yeah.
in social media. I think a lot of people would be against that because they would like to front. They would like to be like my man, my man, my man,
Mm.
and that's
It's
for
not a
them.
bad thing
It's
though.
not actually a
If
bad
you
thing,
are
but it's just
confident, post
being
your man.
being very safe and feeling very secured.
Mm.
That's fine. What about church? What about relationship with church? Your pastor and your family, your family, your mom. Okay, let me take for instance, your mom goes to church and the
Okay.
pastor is like, this child, this your daughter has evil spirits, Obanje in her head. Bring her here. This one. That like, do you feel like certain things should be told to your ministers, your pastors, your reverend fathers, and all that? Like, do you feel like there are issues that should remain private,
Yeah.
even when it has to do with everything church
Yeah.
and all that?
I think we should view this from, let me use like the normal African mother parent
Yes.
settings. So our parents are very they are very, it's a very common thing for them to always want to share to ministers. Like, when anything happens, you see them, they say, ah, my daddy in the Lord, ah, this is what is happening, this child, they just even feel like when they cannot control that child, or when they cannot tell the child what to do and they would
And
exactly
they
do it.
tend to
Yeah,
overshare
yeah, they
and
feel like the
say a lot
pastor
of
is the
things.
one that would recommend what
Understand.
is good for them, and most time it turns out maybe bad for someone. We've heard
Most of them
stories.
turn out bad.
Yeah, we've
Like,
heard stories, but at the same time, I just feel like it's discernment, because you can actually share spiritual information with your church leader, do you get? But it's just discernment, being able to tell that, okay, this person is good energy
mm-hmm,
or this person is bad energy. You can even ask God,
mm-hmm.
is this person really called by you? If
All
not, let
right.
me just move the person aside. But aside from that, I think it's just being able to discern who is actually called
That's
by
you. Do you
God,
have
or who
anything to
you
say
feel
about that?
can give you something that
Secretive and
is
being
not biased,
private.
obviously, but something that you can work with, that is in line with what your faith.
All right.
Exactly.
Yes, I get that very well, Fit.
It's very dicey. I mean, it's very dicey. Sometimes they overlap. But for me, I feel like privacy. If you look at privacy, I should be able to understand that. Okay, this is privacy. Like me, both of us understand why you're not sharing this information.
Mm-hmm.
Then I feel like being secretive is when I don't know the reason why you don't want to share. For example, when you go to the bathroom to take, I know why you're going there. It's for your, it's privacy. Me and you know the
Oh,
reason
that's
why you're trying to
privacy.
hide.
Okay.
But when you go to the bathroom to take a call, like you're going to the bathroom to like hide and take a call. Yeah, that's like you being secretive. I don't
Secretive.
Yeah.
know why you're going to the bathroom to take a call because it's not supposed to be
Okay.
like that. That's you trying to be secretive about something. So I feel
Maybe
like
the
that's
person
how you
wants
can be
a less
secretive.
noisy environment.
Why must it be bedroom that you go to? Yeah, I understand. I think he actually trashed the difference.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this is
yeah. I
actually
think
Yeah,
like the
that's
being
all.
difference.
secretive, like you don't want me to know an information and you don't want to tell me why you don't want me to know that
Mm,
information. But
mm,
privacy is
Yeah,
like this is the reason why I don't want to share this information because of this, that.
mm.
true,
And if you're
true.
Okay.
secretive, you just outrightly don't know and you don't want to tell me the reason. Why?
And in this sense, I think privacy relates more to our topic because you have to be some level of private
Yeah.
to not be able to share too much. I don't know
Yeah.
if that
To be
makes
able
sense.
to stay safe.
Safe, exactly.
Exactly.
Because what we are trying to talk about here is not sharing too much that
Yeah.
will put you in danger. Like, how much is too much to share?
And
That's
I
like,
also think that if people have too much information about you,
mhm,
they can easily harm you and get away with it
exactly.
because they already know the possible, like the most likely people to ask about you. Let's say somebody goes missing now, they know, oh, your mother will be concerned, your father will be. They already know all of the persons you communicate with daily.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get my point?
Okay.
I'm saying if you overshare most times, they already know the persons that they can most likely contact to say, oh, mommy, I'm fine, like maybe pretend or try to do some other things.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like not oversharing is like very key. Is very key. And if you should
Share
share or if you want to be an oversabi, be very selective. Like we
with
said,
people, be
be
know how
attentive,
to discern
be
the
smart.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, they call it a wolf in sheep clothing. You need to know
Yeah,
how
yeah,
to
yeah.
like
You need to know
discern
how
those
to
kind of
identify
people.
those people.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you very much, everyone. It has really been very, very insightful. All right, I think we should like wrap it up with boundaries.
Yeah,
So healthy boundaries, setting boundaries in relationships.
yeah,
Relationship, I'll keep emphasizing on relationship can be anybody, it can be your friend, it can be your roommate.
yeah.
How do you set boundaries that you feel safe with? Like boundaries that keep you safe. What are those boundaries? Let's even start from there. Like what are those kind of boundaries that you think people should set to be safe? Like you shouldn't be able to tell someone this kind of person. Take for instance your very best friend that you think
Mm,
should know everything about you. What are the boundaries that should, because a lot of people have this problem of not being able to set boundaries in their relationships,
yeah.
and it tends to like harm them, endanger their lives and everything. So what do you have to say about that? Do you have any experience that you think if the victim had set a very good boundary,
Yeah.
he or she wouldn't have fallen victim to that incident?
I don't exactly have a direct example, but I know that something happened with a close friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's more like when I was in school. We just seemed to have like a circle. I had like a group of friends,
Okay.
and one other person hurt someone in our friendship group.
Okay.
Like she did something that there is no way you could have thought of it as good. But she made it seem like, oh, I was going through something at that time.
Oh,
That's why I
okay.
did it. My sister, immediately,
Run.
I ran for my dear life. I
Oh,
ran
you
for
left
dear
the
life.
circle
Yeah, like
entirely.
exactly. Like I just thought of everyone that you know what, all of you guys are bad vibes. So I think that we should be very careful with sharing. You could be comfortable with sharing your financials with your family, your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe someone that you call your best friend. I don't think I'll be comfortable share. It's money. It's
Okay.
money.
I
So
think faith is more on the secretive
yeah.
side than the
No,
private.
I just feel like we should be very careful.
Okay.
Do you get? Because I've heard very funny stories. How do you explain a lover killing a lover?
Mm.
Like how do you explain somebody that says, oh, I
Yeah.
love you so much, doing some of those things? And like I mentioned before, just being very attentive. But when it comes to setting boundaries, I feel like it's person specific. What I mean is, you know, the person you're interacting
Mm.
with, so you can say, oh, this is the boundary. Oh, you can say, I would not share this kind of personal stuff because in the long run this person will make fun of me, or I would not share this money issue because in the long run this person is money oriented, they may kill me and take my money. Do you get?
All
So things
right.
like that is person specific.
Okay. That's a very good insights there. Do you have anything to say? Got to you, Emmanuel?
I think for setting boundaries, it's personal. You know the things that um, when people encroach will be of maybe harm to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you just set a boundary around those things. Like my experience, I when I moved out of the hostel, I had this friend that once I he came to my house once, right? I didn't really want to show him my house because I don't like people coming to my house. But the situation at that time, I had to accommodate him at that point. So When
Okay.
he now left, he made it a hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we
Yes, yes,
can. Go on.
sure.
He made it like a situation every time. He's always okay. He constantly came to my house without informing me.
Okay.
Coming
Started
every time,
encroaching
every
into
time.
your
So I have to set
boundaries
that boundary.
and
I'm like, "Look, bro, before you come to my house, you
Call
have to
me.
call me.
call
You have to
me.
tell me. You have to inform me before time. Don't
Yeah.
just take me on a ways like that because you know where my house is." And it stopped. He just completely stopped coming. He didn't even call again, and that was it. So you have to like identify those areas in your life that you
Mm-hmm.
feel
Yeah,
are like soft spots that people
very
can take
But
important.
advantage
doesn't it
of
make
you.
it easier to? Doesn't it make it easier to keep those people away from your life? Like not get them. Like you don't need those people. Like those kind of people.
No,
Doesn't it make it safer
I
and
don't.
easier?
I don't know.
No, no,
If
no,
Like
no.
cut
First
them
of all,
off.
he's not saying that the person is
people
bad
are
though.
different. So people are different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't route certain people in your life because they tend to overstep. You just have
yeah,
to create the boundary and make it communicate those boundaries to that person well enough in a way that they will understand. You don't always have to throw
They
everything. Some people are
yeah,
understand.
yeah,
important. You
yeah.
cannot just throw them even though they tend to do certain things you don't like. You just still have to communicate them.
So you communicate the
That's how
boundaries
I
and
feel.
you
Yeah.
expect that they understand.
Yeah.
And if they don't understand,
Do
you
you
are
know
in
the
danger.
funny thing? I just remembered something. There used to be a time in my house when people used to visit a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seemed like we're always you would restock in the house and within a few days, like
Everything
everything is
is gone.
gone. The first thing my daddy did was to get three dogs.
Okay.
So when you come to the house and you hear Buster, Commando, and the funny names my daddy gave, those dogs start barking like this. In fact, you
Everybody disappeared.
reduce like some of them before they come to the house, you will see they'll call my mommy, they'll text her, they'll pre-inform
Exactly. But
so
before
much
they can just barge
preparation.
in.
Do you
And
get?
you guys, you can't say, "Oh, please go. I don't
Yeah,
want
so
you here." You just keep to.
that's very necessary, please.
I like that. Your dad is actually very he's making use of his sense very well. All right. Thank you very much, guys. So right now I think we have actually for me, I think I've learned like a lot. I've
Yeah,
learned a lot how not to share too much. Like how much is too much to share.
don't be
It's
an
all about
oversabi.
yeah, not to be an oversabi. Oversabi is like I know that feeling that when you get into like a new relationship, be it with whoever, you tend to
Yeah,
be like make them like you, tend to relate, and in those processes, you tend to overshare a lot. So a lot of people fall victim into these problems,
yeah.
and eventually comes back to endanger their life. All right. Is there any other thing you guys want to add? Like how much is too much to share? Is there like any aspects that we are not talking about and you would like to bring it up and share with us? We are learning over here.
I think for myself, I'll just say you should think things through before you share them.
Okay.
Do you get? Because most times when we are talking or we're interacting with people, we just intend to let it all out. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes what we can do is, I'm not saying you should rehearse your speech, but what you can do is just, before you say that one thing,
Mm-hmm.
just think about it. Okay, this person I'm sharing with, before sharing it with that person. It's not like you just go and you're telling them all your family history, where you guys
Extreme.
stay and the
Yeah.
rest. Yeah. So that's think, like we said, be smart, use
Be
your brain.
smart about it.
Yeah.
Problem is just oversharing, knowing when to stop.
Yeah.
Knowing when to stop. I just feel like for me, I think like a lot of things shouldn't be shared. Like
Yeah.
you should have your secrets that you have to take with yourself to your grave. Like you don't have
If
to
you must
share.
share, just be selective.
I don't even think you should share it. By I really do not
Yeah.
think you should share.
Because we've seen brothers killing brothers.
Exactly. Like this world right now is something else.
Very.
All right. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate your time, everyone. I really appreciate it. To our amazing and wonderful viewers, thank you very much for joining us on this episode of Stone Circle. Remember, our team is Let's Talk Safety. So, everything we are going to be doing is all about safety, how to be safe, how to avoid trouble, how to not endanger yourself in
Yep.
your daily activities.
Mhm.
All right. So, moving forward, if you have anything that you would like to share with us, if you have any questions, whatever it is, you have any episode or any event that this topic is speaking to you about on, you can just click the link below and tell us about it. And we are promising to be sending you tips on how to stay safe regularly. You'll be receiving amazing tips from us on how to stay safe, on how to always be safe. So do well to click on the link and send us your story, ask us your question. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to our beautiful guest. Thank you very much for doing this with us. It was really nice. I learned a lot from you guys. Thank you very much. And I hope we'll be doing this some other time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Faith.
Please don't forget to like, share, and
Subscribe.
subscribe.
Exactly. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Faith, for joining us. And we'll be looking forward to seeing our Gen Z community manager again. She's not talking a lot today, but I'm
I'm
assuring
fine.
you guys
I'm
she's
fine.
going to get familiar and we'll be
Yeah.
hearing a lot from her. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a nice day. Bye.